How to discover that you suffer a soul wounds without your knowing. Discovering that you may have a soul wound, a deep emotional or spiritual injury, can be a complex and subtle process. These wounds often arise from unresolved trauma, neglect, betrayal, or painful experiences, and they may affect your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors without you being fully aware. Below are some signs and reflections that might help you recognize when you are unknowingly suffering from a soul wound. 1. Recurring emotional patterns. 1. Unexplained emotional reactions. You might find yourself reacting disproportionately to certain situations, such as feeling intensely angry, anxious, sad, or overwhelmed without a clear reason. 1. These strong emotional responses can sometimes point to a deeper, hidden wound. 2. Chronic negative emotions. Persistent feelings of guilt, shame, sadness, or inadequacy may stem from a soul wound. 2. These emotions can feel like they are an intrinsic part of you, even though they might be remnants of old pain or trauma. 2. Difficulty in relationships. 1. Frequent relationship struggles. If you find it difficult to connect with others, trust people, or maintain healthy relationships, it might be a sign of a soul wound. 1. Sometimes, unresolved pain from past relationships, such as childhood neglect, abandonment, or betrayal, can distort how you interact with others in the present. 2. Codependency or isolation. You may find yourself either overly dependent on others for validation or constantly withdrawing from relationships to protect yourself. 2. Both extremes can be attempts to cope with unresolved soul wounds. 3. Self-sabotage or self-doubt. 1. Feeling unworthy or unlovable. If you have an ongoing belief that you are not good enough, unworthy of love, or doomed to failure, this may stem from past emotional or spiritual wounds. 2. Inability to accept love or success. You may push away or sabotage situations where you experience success or affection, as you don't believe you deserve them, a possible result of a soul wound. 4. Physical symptoms without clear medical cause. 1. Chronic pain or fatigue. Emotional wounds can sometimes manifest physically, through chronic pain, especially in the neck, back, or shoulders, digestive issues, or feeling drained all the time. 1. These physical symptoms may not have a clear medical diagnosis but might be the body's way of expressing unresolved emotional distress. 2. Insomnia or anxiety. If you are having trouble sleeping or constantly feel on edge, it may be a sign that deep, unresolved issues are affecting your mental and emotional state. 5. Feeling disconnected or numb. 1. Lack of joy or meaning. You might feel disconnected from your sense of purpose, joy, or spiritual fulfillment. 1. This sense of numbness or emotional flatness often arises from suppressing or avoiding painful emotions related to a soul wound. 2. Feeling lost or directionless. You might feel as if you have lost your sense of direction in life, unsure of who you are or what you really want, even if things appear fine on the surface. 6. Recurring negative thoughts or inner critic. 1. Internalized negative beliefs. If you find yourself regularly engaging in self-critical or negative self-talk, e.g., "I'm not good enough," "I'm always going to fail," "I don't deserve happiness," these thoughts could be the result of deep emotional wounds that were formed in your past. 2. Unresolved grief or unprocessed pain. Past trauma or emotional pain that hasn't been processed can create a constant inner dialogue of grief, self-recrimination, or anxiety. 7. Subconscious repetitive patterns. 1. Repetition of negative cycles. If you find yourself stuck in a repeating pattern of bad relationships, career setbacks, or behaviors that you don't consciously choose, it might be a reflection of deep unresolved wounds. 1. These patterns often repeat as a way of unconsciously trying to heal or gain closure, but they usually end up reinforcing the original hurt. 2. Fear of abandonment or rejection. Often, deep wounds from childhood, such as emotional neglect or abandonment, lead to a persistent fear of being rejected or abandoned. 2. This fear may shape your